This is not going to be a productive podcast. I'll tell you that right away.
What?
I have so many things I want to talk about. That's not the topic.
Okay, well, this is, if anyone listened to the episode last week, that's literally what happened the whole episode. We had this topic that we're going to talk about today, and we just derailed it into something completely different, and it never even got talked about. So if that happens again today, I'm sorry.
First thing I want to talk about, water of life.
First thing I would like to say. Water of life.
Water of life. What's that from?
Water of life?
Yep. I had to look it up.
What do you mean?
That's what they call it in Dune.
Call what in Dune?
The blue drink.
Oh! Yes.
Water of life.
The one that they, like, you can see everything, basically?
Yes. She drinks it and then...
Yeah. Where they turn it, like, when she's the, what is it, the mother something? Wow, that one's not very good.
Yeah, what do they call that? I just read it. The Ben Gesserit or something like that?
No, that's like
the group.
Group she's from.
You were going to say clan.
Clan, I was going to say clan.
It's
it's like
It's probably
mother
right
of the,
then.
like something like mother of the tribe, or like, oh, I
Sure.
only had my computer with me.
Yeah.
Will you not drink your whole thing so I can try yours?
We'll see.
Mine is not very,
Yours isn't good?
not very good. I'm obviously going to drink it, but. Words of enlightenment. Let's start there. What is your Synergy Raw Kombucha words of enlightenment? Also, by the way, the one that is not very good, but I would still give it. What?
I don't want to talk about it.
Because yours bad?
It's just a little...
Marine Greens is mine. It's intense. Kombucha Klamath, Lake Blue Green Algae, Spirulina, and Corallina. Corella.
Cruella DeVille.
Corella DeVille. My words are, feel the fear, then do it anyways.
Wow, intense.
Not bad. What was
Sticking
yours?
with the Dune theme.
I can't not know.
Mine is just like about love, and it's annoying.
Okay, we'll still share. We don't talk about it, but it's like opening up a fortune cookie and not telling everybody. Like, I just need to know what it is.
Not everybody wants to know. Here's this one. The love you're seeking from those around you is love you must first give yourself.
So obvious. Like, so 2000s enlightenment.
But also, this is not the podcast for...
So 2000s enlightenment. It's like, we already freaking know that. Synergy. That's not new info.
Hey.
That one was pretty good.
I don't want to talk about it.
I know. Okay. So what do you want to talk about if you want to not talk about the topic?
No,
the topic is all about summer, and we're going to get into, like, August. Like, finally we feel
summer
like
for
we're
next year. Why you need to plan next year's summer? It'll be quick. I just like when we watch podcasts and they talk about like TV shows or movies that they're watching, and I feel like we've been watching a bunch of different TV shows lately because everything's only one season, so we finish it in 3 days and we have to find another one. Let's start with your favorite one on Apple TV.
So,
what is it called? The Last Words He Told Me?
The Last Words He Told Me.
Jennifer Gardner.
Jennifer Gardner. Jennifer Gardner has not been in anything for a hot minute, and I follow her on Instagram, so I feel like she's kind of like still in my zeitgeist. But man, is she so cool. I think I like her more watching this now because I've been following her on Instagram. So I'm seeing her like daily life and how she lives. I'm like, this chick is cool. And then you see her in this. It's like, this is kind of like how she is in her Instagram life.
Oh.
Like, she's just real, has her shit together, not a traditional girly woman.
Hollywood
like,
actress.
She's just really seems like she's like down. I hate this phrase, but like down to earth, kind of just regular person.
Oh my God, what are you, a Synergy Words of Wisdom?
Right. But
Down to earth, Zac Efron.
How do we explain it without giving most of it? So, okay, so it's a. I also thought it was pretty interesting because.
Well, why don't you just talk about why you liked it without giving it away? Like, we don't have to explain the show. People can go
Okay.
look up a trailer or whatever and figure out what it is. But
I liked the storyline. It's a kind of one of those more classic, in line with a spy movie, or in line with kind of a heist, or like,
like
same kind of
adventure.
energy of like they're trying to figure things out and put pieces together, and every episode you're like, oh, they figured that out, and it's like as it is unraveling, it just gets crazier and crazier.
It's like playing the game Clue.
Yeah, I liked the intensity of it, the visuals and the scenes of where, or the settings where they filmed it really was engaging because you don't typically see those areas. They filmed it in a cool part of San Francisco where they're like living on a houseboat. So it's like really pretty. She's driving a cool truck. Like the aesthetics of the whole thing are really appealing and different. And then the other half of it is shot in Austin, Texas, which like that is cool. More so because we live there, maybe, so you can see like, oh, I know where that is. I have a familiarity with that. And it just brings a different vibe. Like Texas is just so Texas that you can't, like, when they're even just walking around the campus or outside when they're there, like, oh, that is Texas. It's not. It's supposed to be New York, but they actually shot it in Chicago.
Sure,
like, you can tell that is downtown Austin, which I thought was really cool. And again, just gives a different vibe. It's not just another movie that you've seen where it's shot in the same places that you've always seen.
Yeah. Yeah, they were shot in different areas, which is cool. Yeah, I thought it was good. Like, just everything about it, really. It sucks that it's probably just one season.
See, I feel like they could.
I don't know.
I feel like they could do two.
Yeah.
How they ended it, I feel like they could do two.
Yeah. That one was good.
I hope.
That one was good. The next one I want to talk about is Mayor of Kingstown. Third season, I'm not into that much.
This is the third season?
Yeah. I think why I don't like the third season that much is it seemed like the first two was very everything was very coordinated as far as like it's basically a war between how many different groups of people, and everything is very meticulous and coordinated, to where this third season just seems like random shit's happening and they're just like making a story about it. I kind of felt that way about Ozarks too, where it was like they really like figured out every little piece of this and the effects of every little decision and everything, and then they get to the later seasons and it's like, oh, this happened, shit, now what? And just like figuring it out. Everything's just like a last second resolution rather than this like meticulous planning to get this perfect thing to happen, and the cohesiveness of it all. It's like they just, I don't know. It's probably just they run out of ideas, and it's hard to keep something that planned out season after season. But the third one, I'm just kind of like, just like random crap's happening, and
I don't know. I like this season better than I'm guessing it was last season. Just the one about, it was like mostly about the girl. I didn't really like that one as much. Like, I like that it's kind of going back to just the main storyline of trying to keep the streets, like you said, organized, and it's kind of this there's one guy he's called the mayor, and he's not a cop, not anything. He just has connections, and his brother created this business where he just tries to help out
all of the gangs. He's basically trying to keep organization over all of the gangs.
So he works with the gangs, he works with the cops, he works with the people in the jail, and they're trying to keep the peace between the jail and the streets. And it's like shot in a crappier part of Michigan. And I think the storyline is cool, but I do like that it's more about just the gangs and the old heads of those coming back this season, and kind of like just shit's hitting the fan back on the streets versus it just being about the one prostitute last season.
Yeah.
But I still love the show.
It's still
I think it's
Watchable.
very unique for it still being an action-packed crime movie or crime show. Like, it's a different take on it.
Yeah.
Which I like.
It is unique. The other one, that Presumed Innocent show, the Jake Gyllenhaal one,
Least favorite.
it's just kind of just like, this is so drama. It's too drama. It's like, we'll finish it, but next.
Yeah, but if you really have nothing to watch, I would give that a shot.
The last one is the one that we just started, which everybody's probably already seen, but The White Lotus.
And I have people like bring that up quite a bit.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one that Abby said to watch. That one, and she suggested another one where I'm like, we have different tastes. The one with the guy from Breaking Bad in it.
Oh, Your Honor.
Your Honor. Yeah.
I would watch that one. I just like him so much.
I started on a plane once, and I was like, I just can't. It was too much for me. Maybe. It was like too intense right away. Too real life.
The White Lotus one, it's like, it's building, which is interesting, but it's just so funky.
Yeah. But it's one of those that you want to stick with it because of how many main people are in it. They're like, this has got to be somewhat decent if they have all of these big names.
That one's on HBO or on Max, whatever it is. I don't care so much about the big names. I also don't think they have that many big names. Like, I can't.
Oh, really?
I can't tell you a single person's real name in that show.
Well, I'm not good at that anyways, but. Yeah.
And like, I barely know what, like, we were going through some of the people. I don't know. I just don't think there's that big of names. Why I'll continue to watch it is just the slowly building the story. Like, they are giving just enough to make it like, I feel like I got to see the next one.
Okay.
They're just like slow trickling in stuff, which is kind of funny.
You know what's weird? The blonde girl in that, I'm pretty sure that's that Sydney Sweeney girl.
I hear this person's name all the time. I have no clue.
I think it's that blonde girl. Where it's like, wow, you really like took a different route.
Oh, really?
Later
what do you
after
mean?
this. Like, she's just kind of known as like the hot, always naked girl.
Now?
Yeah. For something that's like, she looks like she's 12.
Well, she's
Maybe it was that
portraying a
yeah.
sophomore in high school in this show.
Yeah.
That, and those, like, the two teenagers in it, last night I was like, do you think this is how kids are now? And you're like, 100%.
Oh, doing like, all of the drugs. And
oh, no. Yeah. You wonder, though, if that's just like, that's how every, I don't know. Is it generations are getting more and more extreme with stuff, or is it just every generation discovers new stuff that the older people are like, why can't you just stick with the regular stuff?
I bet it changes. Like, I bet there's phases of what people get into, because I feel like you hear a lot of stories from older generations where they were really into, obviously, weed, but like acid was like a thing more, to where I think kids nowadays are leaning towards the pills. I'm sure they're still doing those things, but it's not like psychedelics are their first go-to.
Sure.
It's like, it was mushrooms and acid. That's like
not
a
this
rave
phase.
culture now, but your regular high school recreational using more than not is probably the pills.
That's weird. So weird.
And that also could be depending on where you live. Like, I'm talking about the high schoolers that I was talking to in California that I was teaching, and what they're talking about at school and doing at school. It's like, I don't know if that's happening in Milton, Wisconsin. Like, maybe they just have different access to things there, or
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
because you also think of what is their life. Like, a lot of people that, or a lot of the kids that I was also teaching, like, their parents would do drugs, more like would smoke in front of them.
Sure.
It's like, and that was a regular, that was not judged.
Yeah.
To where, like, when we were like, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
But They're also maybe have parents that are in the industry, which that is just a little bit more prevalent. So it's a little bit more normalized and easier to get. Maybe it's in the house that it just,
Well, yeah, and that
I don't know.
like there's definitely a weed culture of like this is a health
Right.
thing,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like you're having it portrayed to you as a health thing as well. Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know either. Okay, I think I have one more thing I want to talk about before we talk
Okay.
about the topic. I want to start a petition on this podcast, and I think maybe I should put some like pinned comment or something and get as many likes as possible that Erin Briggs needs to grow out his facial hair. I want to peer pressure him into doing it, and I want this podcast to be the driving force for that. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Why not?
Aren't you curious? Don't you just want to know?
No, but I like the fun of it. And I like that, like, we should just, like, if you get 2 likes, have it the Barbie solo.
2 likes. And we both go on and like it. Oh, that'd be so funny.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
How about he can't come back on until he has facial hair?
Or that's where the reveal is. When he
That would
comes
be
on
so
in
mean.
January, he has to have facial hair for one of the eps.
That would be so mean. It's my life goal.
Yeah, I can't remember if he ever did. That'd be something to text because I feel like at one time he was kind of switching up his style, and maybe that's when a facial hair phase went in, but I don't remember.
Yeah, there you go. Erin, it's time for a style change. You're retired. New person.
I doubt he would do it.
New career,
I bet
new
he
you.
would get so annoyed by it.
Yeah, I think that's what he said before. So what should the pinned comment be, you think?
We gotta do it on like every episode. For a while.
Every episode.
There's like the gathering of the likes.
Just keep peer pressuring him.
Here's
his phone number. Everybody text him.
So you're gonna pin a comment and then people just have to like it. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um.
And like you said, if it gets 2 likes, he has to. And he texted us before this, and he agreed to that already. He said, "Yeah."
I love that he's gonna watch this and be like, "What the fuck?" And if he doesn't, that shows he's not watching it.
No, we will immediately get a message on Wednesday. Or there'll be a comment like, "I am not growing out my facial hair."
Just do like this comment. I don't know. You'll see it under this video. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Something along the lines. Okay, can we finally get into the topic?
I guess so.
Okay. Topic for today is a little bit all over the place, but the theme is summer. Taking advantage of summer, having fun, how to like set up plans. It's fun in the sun. It's how to have fun in the sun.
Fun in the sun.
So, do you want to start with like how to, well, I guess the reason we're doing this episode, and I think it's still okay to be doing it mid-summer, because I think this is the time when schedules really start to shift. Kids are out of summer school. Kids are out of like their first round of camps. Maybe you've come back from your vacations, or like things are kind of like in the mix, but then you're also going to in a couple weeks or a month transition back into school time. And even if you don't have kids, like it's still the warm weather, it's the summer activities, it's the people going out a little bit more, it's you're doing things that are challenging potentially your usual schedule, your usual fitness, your usual eating. So I think we want to talk about how to utilize the craziness to our benefit, and then maybe just some tips and tricks for how to not go completely off the rails and to feel still supported in your programming.
I think because of it, like you said, the summertime, more things are happening, new things are happening. It's just has this fun vibe to it that I feel like you should just take that and continue to go with it. There's ways to be productive with it, but I also think there's just like, I don't know, it's just kind of, it's that time where it's different for a few months. So take advantage of it being different for a few months, and I think this is the perfect time to change things up. And that's why it's so funny with the New Year's resolution type things, like January 1st is you're in the dead of winter. Like this is the most uninspiring time to do anything
Mm-hmm.
because it's cold, the weather's not great, you're stuck inside a lot. Like it almost should be now that you're doing it so that you can practice in nice weather and the sun's out all the time and there's just like a new energy. You're like kids are home from school and you're going on vacations and camps and you're just doing extra stuff that it's already like challenging you to do new things and whatever that, and they're fun. That's like this to me seems like a better time to try to set things up for the future of what productive things or better eating, better exercise regimens, whatever it is. So I think like just taking the inspiration from it being nice out and like good weather and running with that and then trying to have that stick through once you get back into school season and really into regular routine. You're not doing the vacations, you're not doing all that kind of stuff.
I think that something that actually helps me is I'm still on regular kid going to school schedule because it just happens to be that with my jobs. Like I'm not my year starts January 1st or like I don't do my
Right.
years by that. I do it by school seasons.
Yeah.
And going with what you're saying, I think that helps because especially if you have kids, this helps because then you're on their wavelength of every summer can be a reset.
Yeah.
When you're in, like you said, when you're in January, things are already rolling. Like you just kind of have to keep floating and keep tiny adjustments. But the summer, everything changes. Your kids are going to go into a different grade. Things need to be adjusted there. Things need to be kind of shifted and moving along that way. So then I think having it be kind of a whole household approach. And if you are 22 and you're single and you have basically no responsibilities, it's still what we're talking about. It's a little bit more fun. You're doing a little bit crazier of activities or whatever.
Everybody around you it probably has that schedule or close to that schedule. So it's like you're somewhat affected by it anyways.
Yeah, that I think it's just a good habit to get into because like you said, it's a more inspiring time. And
well, that's what I don't get. Like we come off of the holiday season and now you're going to New Year's resolution change your life. It's like you just got drained.
Right.
And exhausted and you don't want to do anything. And now we're trying to like change super big habits about yourself. It's like it seems like it's the worst timing to do that. The most uninspiring. You just got challenged for how many months of just like extra stuff going on and family and all that kind of stuff, and it's I don't know, spending a bunch of money on gifts and just like holiday stuff or whatever. Toward the summertime, it's like I don't know, there's more positive things going for you. The weather's nice. Kids are out of school. People's jobs are like you just do more fun stuff in the summer. Like it just seems like such a better time to go. Yeah, let's start
tackle the challenge maybe.
Yeah. Let's try to do a new workout program or let's try to do a little bit better eating or something.
So, as far as creating new habits, if I'm putting myself, let's just create a person. This person is a parent, you have kids, maybe you're with someone, but like you have a family and a household that you're running. This is where I would start to look at what does my family need and what do maybe as a group we could get better at, and then start to slowly implement it during the summertime. So if it is, let's just go down the categories of fitness. I would start to plan in ways that you can be out, like things that are still going to be fun. Maybe you're going on walks as a family. Maybe you're going outside and you're riding bikes. You're throwing, like, if they're younger, like having activities and toys that are outside, so you're getting them and yourself like in the sun, in the warm weather, getting, because you're probably going to be cooped up for most of the cold months, even if you're in a nice area, that take advantage of the breaking of the usual schedule of we're inside, we're watching TV, we're on iPads, we're coloring or whatever. Like, just get outside and have it be a group activity. That
Yeah,
would be my first suggestion.
I think the whole idea to me would be ride the wave. Like, you don't have to create a new one during this time. The wave is like, the kids want to be outside and people want to be outside. Like, this is where cookouts are happening. 4th of July just happened. Like, everybody's outside, going to parades, going to fireworks, doing cookouts, get-togethers. Some people have pools. You're going to a pool or whatever. Like, there's just so much accessibility to be outside and to do stuff that I would just try to ride that wave as much as possible. And it's like, it's nice out. So like, you as a family usually watch a show at night. It's like, go outside and have your iPad or laptop or something and watch the show outside at night. It's like, just kind of any excuse to be outside and doing stuff, I think, is a perfect start to doing something a little bit more for health or whatever, just because it's like, get fresh air and get out of the house. And I think when you're outside, you end up just naturally starting to do stuff. It's like, if the kids are outside and they're playing or something, you're more likely to like, oh, maybe I'll get up and like throw the ball or kick something or just like walk around with them and do whatever. If you're inside and everybody's just playing with toys on the ground, you're probably not going to get down and play with blocks with your kids or Barbies or something like that. So I think just ride the wave of what this is. It's like, people want to get together and be outside and do all that stuff. And then you're just like kind of progressively pushing that more and more and more. And you're finding excuses to keep doing it all.
I would say book your summer with a theme. And maybe that can happen every single summer, that you and your family kind of like have that cue of, oh, it's summertime, this is when we do this. So like, maybe you choose a activity that you're going to pick up that summer as a group. Like, maybe you're going to pick up walking once a day. Maybe you're going to pick up going outside and doing a outside-y activity of like, maybe you're going to do a garden every summer, or maybe you're going to XYZ. I would have it be something that it's almost like for sports, like the off season. It's not, well, I don't know, I'm not in football season, so do I just like get lazy, or do I work out harder, and then do I just like keep that during, like, it's very structured and scheduled of when you're in the season, you're just about maintaining and playing really well. On the off season, you're about getting bigger, faster, stronger. So have that be the same thing for your families of, it's summertime, we're maybe in different activities, we're doing different camps, we're maybe at home all day long because we're not going to school, and you're maybe having your kids at home all day long. Having a theme that maybe you can kind of tell your family is just naturally gravitates towards, like, maybe you guys like walks, maybe you like going to parks, maybe you like just sitting outside and being by a pool, doing fires, whatever. Something that when the summertime comes around, it's correlated to a healthy activity.
Yeah. Well, and I think because the kids are not in school, it's so easy to like rope them in to your stuff that you want to do. Because a lot of the times, like, kids are kind of down for activity and outside and doing stuff, that if you're like, we're going to go on walks, every Saturday because I have off of work and like, it's going to be nice out and whatever, we can do that. Because I think the other thing to think about too is like, the kids are probably off of school, or if it's somebody that doesn't have kids, it's like, you're still working. You still have your regular routine of having to go do that. But it's
just a structured time to purposefully put in a reset.
Yeah, and I just think that time is so much more inspiring than when we generally try to do it. And I think if you do have kids, it's so easy to just use them as the excuse to, like, they want to go outside, well, let's go do that because I could use more steps or more activity and be outside, and that's going to be better for me, it's going to be better for them. It's easy to rope them in. if they're off to school, you know, and you have that Wednesday off or whatever, it's like they're not there to kind of nag you and push you to go do stuff. And if it's during the winter time, you don't want to go outside much really anyways. So I think you just utilize this time to it's fun time. Like it's fun time, so use that type of energy to put something productive together. During New Year's and New Year's resolution, it's not fun time anymore. You're
You just
stressed
got
and
off of all the
bogged
fun time
down.
and you're exhausted at the fun time.
Yeah, and it's like it's so not inspiring, and you're trying to create something from that sort of headspace. It's going to be like stressful, and I don't want to do it, but I feel like I have to, and you're putting that pressure on yourself to where this time it's like, I don't know. Just to me, it just the idea of it seems so much more fun and inspiring that ends up not being as much work versus the New Year's winter time. That's so much more work and stress.
Yeah, I think looking at your life, and maybe this is going to be a personal endeavor, and your family's like, no, I'm not doing anything. But like, just pick something that is maybe your biggest challenge and tackle that. Potentially. If it's eating, tackle that. If it's fitness, tackle that. If it's your relationships with your family, if it's your family dynamic, like this could be the time to set the tone for the year ahead. And how I see the year is with school years. So every summer I am going, okay, I want to get all my ducks in a row so that when the school season starts again, I can just plug and play and maintain.
Well, this is kind of the time to build the new habits.
Yep.
And then when you get into the school year, it's maintaining the habit rather than trying to create new habits during
Well, it's like how we
crazy.
teach over the summer. We're not going to in the middle of the year go, we got to have a change.
Right.
Because the kids are like, what? We've been doing this. Why are you just like switching it up? To where summer, there's a natural change happening anyways, that this is when you can throw in the different things and it's doesn't look as crazy because everything is different anyways.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we're going to start going on walks 3 times a week. Like, well, everything else is different, so why not?
Well, and if you live in places where during the winter you can't go on 3 walks a week, it's like this is your time to be able to get outside and do that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like something is always that's a hard. I struggle with it all the time. It's a hard concept of like something is better than nothing. If you live in Montana and it's winter 10 months out of the year, and you have 2 months where you can actually go on walks outside, for those 2 months, it is still better for your health and for everything. It's better for your health to go on walks for 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's like seasonal fruit and vegetables.
Yeah, exactly. But we get into our head like, oh, we can't, like, it's not going to amount to anything. The 2 months of walks isn't going to amount to anything. The only three months of summer, 4 months of summer isn't gonna change anything. But it's like, yeah, but you could create a new habit and kind of a new mindset going into the winter that follows through with that.
Well, and there's a chance that your summer is a little bit calmer than during the year, that this is your time to potentially trial and error things so that when you're in the groove of kids are fully in school, kids are all in their sports, you guys are going crazy every day of the week, you've been practicing these habits that you might be able to still bring them into the year because you found a way and a system that it works for you and your family. Like I think of most people with cooking, that seems to get pretty hard when the year comes around and everybody's in everything. That if you can create a system for you and your family to maybe cook together, or you're meal prepping if that works for you guys, or finding ways to set up meals ahead of time so you know what you're going to be making, that might become so second nature over the summer that you get like that and you get used to that. And then you go, I can't go back to eating out all the time. Like,
yeah.
I missed it in the summer when we were having this food. Or like us for the walks. We started that in a warmer time. And then we get so used to walking every day that we moved to Texas and it is cold in the wintertime. And we're still like, I don't care if it's 30 degrees. We have to go on a walk.
Yeah, bundle up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could be you still take those habits into the year. You've just found a way or enjoyed it so much that you make it work then.
Totally. Well, and I think with the food example too, like your dad, he likes grilling out, and that's the summer. Summertime's awesome for that. That makes cooking fun, being able to go and grill out, and then you can also make that healthy. It's like you can cook everything on the grill.
Mm-hmm.
Just like grab a pan from Walmart that can go on the grill, or tin foil on a pan.
I mean, hey,
You can do
cast iron.
Cast iron pan. You could do all your veggies on the grill next to your meat or whatever it is. And you're like, what are you going to grill out that's ultra processed and, super carby? Nothing. You're going to grill meats and veggies pretty much. So not only are you getting the fun activity of grilling out and doing that, you're starting to create a better habit of eating better that could then carry into the wintertime when you can't grill out. But you could still, you're so used to not having the ultra processed food. So you're good with just a bunch of veggies and some fruit, and then, whatever meat that you're cooking that you could do on the pan or in the oven now. It's like you're just kind of creating this habit now to then have it trickle through. And you're doing it with you're doing it with fun activity. You're not doing it with, well, I should really start eating better, so I got to start finding recipes, or I got to do this, or I got to do that. It's like, no, you're literally just taking a fun thing and putting it to here.
And that's at least how I would suggest, or how I do it, is every summer I pick something that seems inspiring and something that I'm going to figure out, work on, implement. Like, I feel like every summer we do a new fun program. Like, that's how we got into kettlebells initially. It was over the summer we're like, we have the time to figure something else out and something different out. And then we adopt that, and then now we use it all the time. But almost giving you something to look forward to. And again, creating that habit and that cue. The same way that some kids know, like, oh, when we're in summer break, we always do this family trip.
Right.
We go to the cabin. We go on this camping trip. We go to see these family members in this state. Having that be almost on your calendar, predetermined, of, okay, it's summertime, that's when I'm going to pick up a different diet that I wanted to explore, or I'm going to pick up cooking in this type of way, or I'm going to try this workout program, or I'm going to implement walking or whatever.
Yep.
I think having that decided beforehand, and I think it's really fun as in I've never experienced it, but I think it's fun when you can experience that with your family. Like, if you can, with your kids or with your spouse, go like, okay, what's something that we want to do? Do we want to learn an instrument this summer? Do we want to pick up a new activity? Do we want to pick up pickleball? Should we try something as a family that's so not in our usual thing, and we may never do it again, but it can just be this summer's challenge, summer challenge?
Yeah. I mean, how many memories do you have of just like, remember when we really got into that one thing?
Oh, yeah. Like, I remember one summer we got into tennis.
Yeah.
Me and my family. Like, and tennis as in me and Kara just hitting the balls and my dad going running and grabbing them, but
yeah.
it's still.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Well, and I think in the workout realm of it too, it's like, buy a kettlebell, buy a 20-pound kettlebell, and just like find time to go outside and throw a kettlebell around, or a medicine ball, or whatever. It's like,
I can't wait to film the program that we're going to do.
It's so nice out that, again, just like letting that fuel. It's like, I'm gonna buy a 20-pound kettlebell, and I'm just gonna try to go out there 2 times a week. I'm just gonna go outside and be in the sun and do some kettlebell swings, and that might be it, and that's fine. And I'm gonna come back in and do my regular day, or whatever it is, before work or after work. Just making it so. It's like what we talked about how many episodes ago of pairing things together. It's like, not only are you getting outside in the fresh air, you're getting the sun, then you're getting exercise, or you're getting time with family. It's like you're just stacking so many things on top of each other. It's just that amount of good happening at once. Like, that's what I think gets you into the habits and going really well. I think where it's hard and like treacherous and just like mentally difficult when you're like, it's January 1st, it's freezing cold, I don't want to leave the house, I don't want to drive anywhere, I don't want to do anything, and I'm going to start a new workout program. It's like, what are you stacking on that? Like, you can't do any of it with family because you're having to go to a gym.
Your kids are in school.
Your kids are in school. They're not going to be a part of it. It's cold. The sun's barely ever out. Like, there's just all these things that are not, you're not able to pair with and stack with. And I think that's why we had that episode too of finding things to kind of manipulate that so you are pairing them together. But like, that's what makes this time so beneficial and wonderful, is like they're just all naturally happening. The kids are home. You don't have to do anything. It's like, it's going to be beneficial for them and you. It's sunny out. It's nice out. It's just, there's already new stuff happening. So you don't have to worry about like making changes at this time of the year because it's being forced upon you anyways. It's just so easy to get into stuff at this time. Like, this is the easiest time to start new habits and good ones.
Yeah, I mean, you think of a kid's schedule, adults are not that much different. January, you're already in the mix that you would have to break it down and then course correct. Versus like, it's already kind of broken down to nothing right now. That is how I think you can kind of make sure that you're continuing to change and evolve and work on yourself and not just be stale for years. I think that's what, when we get to be adults, that's when years pass and we're like, I'm the same person. Or like, I haven't really gotten better at that thing. I haven't lost the weight that I said that I was going to 3 years ago. I have these bad traits or whatever. When you're a kid and you're transitioning from grade to grade, at least this is how I was like as a kid. Every year was like, who am I going to be? Like, what thing am I going to be doing this year? Am I going to get really into this? Am I like, well, it's so silly, but it's like when you would get school supplies.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm making a choice. Am I going colorful, full rainbow, crazy girl? Or am I going to go sparkles, like sleek, black and white stuff, like neutral colors, and like, I'm going to go into this like very zen. Like that, I am choosing to set a tone of what kind of person I'm going to be that year. And then I'm going to show up and like, this is me. You guys haven't seen me for 3 months. This is the reveal. This is 2012 Courtney reveal. And next year, I may do a hot switch to something else. But as we get older, we don't have that.
You don't have that break. Like, it doesn't. You don't have that definitive. We've talked about this before, too, where it's like, when you go from second to third grade, like, you feel like a third grader.
Yeah, it's like, what am I going to be this year?
I am a third grader. Mm-hmm. I'm not a second grader anymore. To where when you go from 25 to 26 or 35 to 36, you're not like, I am a 36-year-old. Like,
right.
I can feel it. It's like, I don't feel anything anymore at 36.
Yeah, I think it turns into more like decades or like, well, let's see how these next 5 years go. Let's see how the next 10 years go. It's like,
well, it does turn
bookend it every single year. And that's why I like to do it in the summertime. Because that just is, for my work schedule, that makes sense. I've just always thought about it that way. Like you've said, it's the most inspiring time. So it's the most time I'm going to like go for something and adjust.
Well,
but every summer I make a choice of like, okay, I'm going to turn, well, especially for me, like being a December birthday. I don't know, like it should make more sense for me to do it in January because I'm like, okay, I'm 20 whatever now.
Sure.
Time to do this. But I really do it by this school year. Like, okay, how did I change my teaching going into this year? How did I change my workflow going into this year? How did I change my fitness? Or what am I going to go into the busy part of my season? What traits am I bringing along? What tone did I set?
I think you kind of touched on it earlier, and to get weird and like try to draw very draw some pretty broad conclusions, you think about how our food grows. Like it grows in the summer and a little bit in the fall. That's the time of
For us to grow.
yeah, like regeneration and everything is coming up and you're getting the food to where the winter time is where you've canned everything and you've processed
You're hunkering
everything
down.
and you're hunkering down and you're preserving everything. And then summer comes back again and okay, what worked with the canning or what didn't? We tried to grow these last year, it didn't work. How do we reassess and figure it out? Like it kind of is, as far as the food part of it goes, like you really are doing that during the summer or pre-summer to then do that and accomplish what's coming next in the 3 months and then to have it last you the next year. So it's like we kind of weirdly have this process of this is the time for creative, innovative new ideas, and the winter and the rest of the year is like, let's see how this works. Like this is what we did and we accomplished. Hopefully it lasts the whole time. It's kind of what you do on sports teams too. Like, well, football specifically, I should say. It's such a short season. So you're really creating an identity in what your team's going to be in the off season. And then you basically are playing the whole season of like, I hope this works. Like we're going to make minor adjustments, but like this is what we're going with. And we have to get as good as we can with this group of people, with this identity as the team. Are we going to be a run the ball, pound it down your throat? Are we going to be a air it out, throw it all over the place? Defensively, how are we going to be? What kind of tactics are we going to use? And you're just trying to hone those skills throughout the year. But like your whole game planning is happening before the season starts, and you basically are going like, here we go. Hopefully this whole idea worked, and we can kind of build upon it. You're not upending everything mid-season. And if you are, it's for the next season. Like there'll be starting quarterbacks that get traded in week 7 or whatever it is. But it's like, okay, well, this team clearly is just like done for the year. They're planning for the next year and they're going to get draft picks and do whatever. So it's like, so a lot of our processes that happen where it's like your planning and programming happens in the summer and you're starting that and creating that, and then you're hoping it lasts the whole year.
I love that analogy. I think that is exactly how it's almost like you put words to how I live, and it's like spot on. I like that it doesn't seem random. Like there is a routine to that. And it makes sense in nature. So like just do that with your life.
Well, it's like bears hibernate in the winter.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Like hunker down with the tools that you've gained over the summer or the food that you have grown and processed, and then you're just seeing how long it lasts and you're maintaining. I really like that. Yeah, I like that. That I think is, I don't know. I think that's kind of turning into a different topic a little bit, a little subsect of it, of how to make sure that you're continuing to adjust as we're adults and like actually achieve what we want, and more so just like kind of keeping check with ourselves.
Well, we talk about all the time of as a kid, everything is so structured for you and so scheduled out. And then you become an adult and you have to do that for yourself, and you just really don't do it. Like you have to really work to do it. You literally had people telling you what was going to be happening your entire year. And now all of a sudden you're like, wait, I got to figure this all out.
Well, it's like, think of that even with school or with sports. Your teachers are going, okay, you're in this class now, you're in this grade now, you're in this whatever. Like, this is the material for your grade, for your age.
Yeah.
You're in sports. This is the things that you'll be learning in this thing because you are this grade and you are this big or you are whatever. They are planning your curriculums based on having you evolve.
Yeah.
And add in more. You're not going, well, it's just probably easier to do the same things for 3 years in a row. Like, that would not keep you inspired. That would not keep you growing. That would not keep you evolving. We still should be doing that probably as adults.
Yeah.
Like, we're not done.
The thing is, you go get I think the common regular thing is now you go get a 2-year degree or a 4-year degree, and now you're in your job, and now it's like you coast the rest of your life. It's like, well, now you're here for 30 years until you retire. And you're kind of doing stuff within that and whatever, but you have to create this next, the rest of your life structure.
Yeah.
And if you're not constantly trying to figure things out, like, evolve's such a weird, loaded word, but if you're not constantly trying to, like, okay, maybe I should try to do this or figure this out, or, I don't like this part about me, or I want to get better at this thing, you're just going to stay stagnant and just, the next 30 years are going to be the same. And the problems that you have are going to stay the same. And the things that you want to get better at, you're never going to get better at. Like, you have to put some sort of structure and initiation and, like, attempt at things. And I think that this time is the best time to do that, because everything around you is, I don't know, everything around you is just, like, vibrant and lifelike. It's like literally everything is growing. You got to cut your grass 2 times a week now because it's summer. And it's like, yeah, because everything's growing and coming up, and, like, things are changing and it's new and you can visually see it. And it's like, that's happening to you too if you are kind of in that mindset. It's like, this is the easiest time to change and to create new habits and to get better.
Yeah.
And I think with that can sound stressful and like, oh, that's just, like, too much. But I think there's something about this timing of the year that makes it like, yeah, it doesn't seem that bad. It's like, yeah, I'll just, like, it just seems so nonchalant. It's like, it's nice out and it's summer, I'll just go for a walk. And then, cool, like, you did something for your health, great. And then you start to, like, yeah, I kind of want to do that again. That felt good. So then you go do it again. Like, you don't have to be so stressed and crazy about it. Just I think the sun and the nice weather and everything around you just, like, is promoting you to do stuff and be productive, and it's so easy to go do it versus in the wintertime when literally nothing is doing that for you and you have to be disciplined for it.
Yeah, that's why I kind of like, I mean, you could do it that way of just, I'm just going to take advantage of the summer. I'm going to go outside more. I'm going to just try to take any excuse to do things differently than what I've been doing. I like to theme it, like, saying leading up into the summer, like, the summer is going to be a Florida summer. I am going to do Florida summer. Everything is going to be outside. I'm going to go to the beach. I want to, like, go on more walks or go to walks in different places. I want to go to coffee shops around here. I want to just, like, engulf myself in
golfing.
I want to just really dive into what here has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, then everything else is kind of revolving around that. Like, our workout program is going to be kind of mixing it up, but it's about being outside more. Our off days are going to be going and playing pickleball or doing things that are just mixing it up, but it is so, what can I do around here and be outside in Florida summer it up? And it's like, that's exciting because I'm like, okay, that's the theme. Maybe your theme is, this is the summer of cooking. I'm going to learn how to cook fun things. I'm going to choose things that are, like, challenge me a little bit, or, like, I'm going to pick something once a week and then we're all going to go to the grocery store and we're going to do a family cooking night.
Yeah.
Having things, I think, set. How do I want to say it? Because I think there can be you just got to know yourself. I think there's some people that they would do better just random, and I'm going to choose every opportunity to go outside. And it's not going to be with a specific motive. It's just every opportunity I'm saying yes.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes that can help you if you want to work on something specifically. Go, this is the summer for fitness. This is the summer for me and my kids to hang out. This is the summer for my kids to learn this thing, so I'm going to do that with them, or whatever. Your kids don't listen. This is summer. We're going to figure that shit out.
We're going to listen. I like the stupid little things too of, like, I'm going to have the windows open. Like, I'm going to drive with the windows down. I'm just going to if I'm going to work, the windows are down, fresh air getting in the car, the windows are open at home. Like, I'm letting this just engulf me.
Yes.
Just the fresh air, the sun, the good weather. I think that just promotes better decisions and choices too. It's like if you wake up and you open the windows and the sun's starting to come through, it's like that is going to make you want to grab a kettlebell and do some swings way more than let's keep them shut, AC on, like the blinds kind of closed, like everything just shut down. It's like, yeah, that's not of course you don't want to work out.
There's less life in that.
You've created a dungeon.
Yeah.
Like who wants to work out in a dungeon? It's like you want the vibrance and the fresh air and the sun, like you want everything to be just like lit up and nice and light. It's like you made everything heavy by just closing everything up and keeping it there.
That's the wintertime. When
Exactly.
everything is gray and dead and cold, like that's time like we're just getting through this.
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
We're maintaining.
But it's like you have a choice. Like let's open the windows, let it in. Like have a kettlebell just sitting out, ready to go whenever you're ready to go. If you don't have a grill but you have a space to do it, it's like buy a cheap, shitty little grill. Learn how to grill.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're cooking better food. You're outside again. Like I don't know. Get a nice. Go buy a nice chair, a nice outdoor chair.
Yes.
That you can go sit out and do. Like you want to scroll on your phone? Go outside and scroll on your phone.
Yeah.
It's like just take advantage of it being so nice, because I think I wonder how much of us just being so cooped up inside all the time promotes the bad habits and how much of being outside promotes the good habits. Like I think people would generally say being outside is better for your health in a lot of ways because of the trickle down effect. It's like, okay, even if you have the macaroni salad and you have brats and hamburgers and the buns and like all the potato salad and all just like the grill out food, and it's maybe not that great for you, but you're outside and like you're playing pickleball or you're throwing a frisbee with your family or you're outside doing stuff. That is way better than you being cooped up inside having the same trash meal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, just get outside and do it. And then I think you being outside is going to promote that. Like, yeah, maybe we just skip the real bad stuff here. Like maybe we don't get the chips, or maybe we don't do this or don't do that.
Or like this fruit is in season. Let's go crazy with fruit.
Yeah.
Let's go crazy with the stuff that we can't have during the winter time. Like,
yeah.
Like you said, like taking advantage of the grilling out, taking advantage of the fruit, taking advantage of the outside light, fun activities. That's one of my favorite things that we did in Texas in the summertime, because we did have a little bit more of a season there. Was like going outside for sunset and having drinks on the porch.
Yeah.
It's like we easily could just do this inside.
Totally.
But it adds an extra flair to it simply because we're sitting outside.
It's a different feeling. And I think it's a different, it gives you a different mindset of just like what to do following that. Yeah.
Now can we kind of talk about, like you said, the cookout, things that you might be doing, and if this is the summer for fitness or the summer for eating or whatever you decide, like how maybe we approach those things and still kind of have a good balance about it.
Yeah, I mean, this time, if you're somebody that's super diligent about exercise and food and whatever, like this time can kind of throw you off your regimen. It's like if you're super consistent with all that, and now everybody wants to do cookouts and bad food is there, or if people want to get together all the time and go do these activities, and you're like, no, I need to go to the gym, 3 days a week, 4 days a week, whatever, that can kind of throw you off. But I would allow that to happen, because just like the people who aren't going and doing all of that and doing all the super awesome health stuff, the people that are doing it consistently and all the time, like, you need a reset as well. You need to like go live life a little bit. It's nice. Your friends want to go on a boat. Like they're doing a cookout, go to the cookout and be okay with, it's not the best food for me, but like I'm around family, we're outside, we're having fun. I missed my workout today. Like everything's cool. It's fine. You need a reset as well because you also need something to. Everybody gets bored. Eventually, you'll get bored of what you're doing. So it's like you need that reset as well to. Okay, I'm ready to like get back into it. That's how we felt coming off of our last event. Was like, okay, we did this for a little while now. Let's start to get back into this and get going again. So I think the people that are doing it really well, this is a beneficial time for you too of take a step back, like just choose to go for walks instead of having to go to the gym every day, or same exact advice. Find ways to get outside and go do fun things.
I was saying more for the people that, like, how do you take advantage of the fun things but still keep balance? Like, if this is the summer of eating healthy,
yeah,
it's not the time to take a break and do that. It's like, say if you're at a cookout, how to maintain somewhat of a, like, this will be my approach to doing that.
Well, we just had a conversation yesterday that I think is good advice just in general, is like if you're trying to figure out this is the summer of eating better type of thing. I like the thought to go like, okay, these are my options. What would a healthy person do? You know, what would they choose out of this stuff to eat? And then you go from that. And you try to restrict or reduce the temptations for the stuff that you usually would eat, and you just go with like, what would a healthy person choose to do here? And you do that. And you try to do that consistently. I think a lot of people know enough to go like, okay, healthy people would probably choose these things. Like I see there's fresh fruit, or there's like
chips and dip.
There's a veggie tray. Yeah, there's a veggie tray and fresh fruit, or there's chips and dip and like cheese and crackers. It's like a healthy person would probably pick the fruits and vegetables. So you do that. And then you're just trying to do that consistently and with discipline. Now, if you've got things that you really, really like, yeah, like if I'm at a cookout, I'm not skipping the macaroni salad.
But you might skip the chips, you might skip the other things so that you could have that.
Yeah, because the chips don't really do anything for me.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, I'll have the brats and the hot dogs and the burgers and the macaroni salad, but I'm not going to do the chips. I just don't care enough about them. They don't give me that much fulfillment or whatever. So I just avoid those or not do those. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like I'm going to eat more of the protein and the just better things, I guess. Like
it's like prioritizing if I'm going to already not go off the rails, but if I'm already going to go off of what I'm supposed to do, what's going to be more worth it?
Yeah, and I think you're a little bit trying to mimic what you usually eat or do, but with the options that are in front of you. So it's like, I'm not going to grab a giant bowl of macaroni salad. That's not how I typically would eat. How I would typically eat is grabbing a certain amount of protein, a certain amount of vegetables, and then a certain amount of carbohydrates or something. So it's like I may be having 2 burgers. I'm probably having, whatever, a fist of vegetables, a fist of fruit, and then like some macaroni salad. Same thing, a fist of macaroni salad or whatever. So I'm still picking the things that I like, but I'm just still trying to eat generally how I would eat. Like I never snack on chips or pretzels and dip or cheese and crackers, and those things don't do anything for me anyways. If you're somebody that just loves chips and dip, sure, do that. Have fun with that. But I think you still try to mimic what you are trying to do if it's something new for you, or even what you typically do if it's something that you already kind of have down.
I think since the summer is a summer for change, have whatever you're going to be working on that summer be the highlight, and then everything else can kind of be the fun around it. So it's kind of like how you would eat. You're going to prioritize your protein, and then whatever else fills you up, have a variety of that, but you're still going to prioritize one thing. So whether it's fitness or it's food or it's you want to pick up a hobby, have that thing be scheduled in a way that you know you will hit the mark. So if it's Fitness, you're planning your workouts on a specific day that you know that you'll be able to do it on a time frame that still feels doable and fun and something that's going to still keep you inspired. The food thing, like how I would do that, if I'm going to prioritize health and fitness that summer, I'm still going to go to the beach and have drinks. I'm going to want to do the cookout food. I'm going to want to, have also bad summer stuff that's like, yeah, we're going to just enjoy going to the beach all day and I'm not going to get my workout in, or we're going to cook out. So like I'm not going to be eating on par that whole day. I will still make sure that I'm somewhere getting my workout in. If I'm going to go to a cookout and I know there's going to be bad food there, I might eat beforehand so I'm not going in there starving. Or the rest of my meals that day, I'm going to still prioritize and make them good. If I'm going to want to have drinks a lot more during the summertime, I'm maybe going to choose drinks that are still fun and summery, but I'm maybe going to choose the homemade margarita where I'm just going to do some fruit and some seltzer and alcohol. Or I'm going to choose something that's like still lighter, but I'm not going to every time I go somewhere have beers.
Well, and I think we kind of said it earlier, you got to get rid of the all or nothing attitude.
Yeah.
I think
I'm still going to have the alcohol, but I'm going to have tequila and seltzer.
Well, and I think for some reason we do this like, well, I'm already off the wagon, so I might as well just go all in. It's like, no, a little burn on the arm is fine. Don't light yourself on fire. Like you can handle the little thing. Like we on 4th of July, we made margaritas and took them to the beach, but then we also took like our food we took salads. So it's like it's a fun day and it's exciting and we're getting the fun drinks, but let's like lighten the blow a little bit by still making some good decisions. Like all these cookouts, like and when we go home, when we go back to see family, we do this a lot. It's the same thing of like, we know we're probably going to drink a lot more. So now my focus turns into like, I'm really going to try to pound like the fruits and veggies. I start to get a little bit away from the protein and stuff, just a little bit. It's not so much of a focus because in Wisconsin, that's so easy to get. Like the meals are meat based. Like you don't have to worry about that. What you have to worry about is the veggies not loaded up with, sweet potatoes with brown sugar and butter and just all this stuff mixed in and around it. Or it's like,
there's not a lot of salads around.
Yeah, it's not just like.
Oh, it's simply you're getting together with big people, so it's food that's going to feed a lot of people.
Right, exactly. So like what becomes hard to find is the fruits and vegetables that are just clean cut, whatever. So I start to dial in on that and try to get really good with that. And then the alcohol thing, I know that's going to be an uptick. So it's like, sure, I'm fine with this happening, but I'm going to try to lighten the blow with the way I'm eating, or I'm just going to try to drink more water then. Like I'm not doing the all or nothing thing. Like I for some reason think we do it. We go to a cookout and it's like, well, there's just a bunch. Sure, there's more bad options there, and that's challenging and tempting, but there's still some. Somebody usually brings a veggie tray, or you can have the burger without the bun. You can have the brat or the hot dog without the bun. You don't need to overload it with sugary ketchup and shitty mustard and all this other junk. Like, sure, it might not be exciting or fun or whatever, but
that's where the balance is.
That's where the balance is. And I think to not also feel bad about yourself afterwards, like these are the decisions that you have to try to make. And you have to, like you said, find the balance of it.
And that's where I really am trying to say, like, prioritize the things so you know it's going to happen. So then if you do go off the rails, you know you still did the thing that you said you were going to do. So make sure that you prioritize the workout, the new hobby that you're learning, the food that you're like, still do the thing. And then whatever happens afterwards. But you know that you still hit your mark.
Yeah, and again, like 4th of July, I mean, it's past now, so it might not be helpful. Say you have a vacation coming up soon. Again, don't have the all or nothing attitude. If you can only get a 10-minute workout in, do the 10-minute workout.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if it's not going to be, you're on vacation, it's not going to be a priority to be doing that. You're wanting to go do other fun things, like maybe you're going out on the boat on the lake, or you're just outside playing badminton, or maybe you're not doing any of that and you're on an all-inclusive vacation in Jamaica. It's like, so like get up and do some push-ups and squats and whatever. It's like do a little bit. A little bit is still so much better, and I think you're going to feel a little bit better about your choices and actions, and then that has a snowball effect too. So now when you go to eat, you're like, well, I did my workout, or I did a little bit of a workout. Now I kind of want to eat a little bit better. And now that you ate a little bit better, you're like, yeah, maybe I don't need to have as much alcohol. And then you don't have as much alcohol, and that's like, I've had a fulfilling day. Like, we can go to bed. It's fine. I don't need to stay up till 3 a.m. because I'm unfulfilled with the day because I made a bunch of bad choices. So you just kind of keep this balance going in the times where it's really weird. Of workouts might be hard to get, good eating might be hard to get, good sleep might be hard to get, you're drinking more. You're just still trying to find ways to have a little bit of health and control and all of that kind of stuff. And it's like a little bit is totally worth it. It's like that has to be drilled into the brain. A little bit is very much worth it. It's not like, well, I can only do 10 minutes, so it's just not even worth it. Or the only healthy thing here is like if I ate a plain burger, or if I had no, like just the ground beef. Like there's nothing else here that I could do. It's like still do that. Still make those choices.
Yeah. Yeah, I have nothing else to say. Do you?
Yeah, I think the key to it is just like get outside. I totally was not that person either. And I think there's just, I don't know, something has changed. I think partially being here in Florida.
Yeah.
It's like, it seems like the culture is very much like be outside and go do stuff, and just there's always outdoor seating at every place you go, and people are outside doing stuff all the time. You see them walking, biking, playing pickleball. The beach is there, so you just see a bunch of people at the beach, and we're lucky because we kind of have summer year round, but we have that experience of living in Wisconsin and it being summer, like harsh winters, that it's like, oh, we see the benefit of having the summer year round here. It's like there's something to that, just like that sun and the feeling and it being nice. And it's like, oh, this is the time for most of the country. I mean, we've even been northern Florida, and it's like they have cold that comes. Like they have a winter. So it's like most of the country, it's like this is everything's upbeat time.
Yeah.
And it's like take advantage of that, and have a little bit of structure and planning, but a little bit like just let it kind of flow and ride the wave. And I think you'll just naturally discover these new habits that you can have, and then they just ride into the winter time.
Yeah. I would love to know if you feel inclined to also like the Erin Briggs comment.
Yeah.
But if you feel inclined, I would like to know, comment for the people that are listening, comment what you might be working on this summer. Even if you're like, I've never thought about this before, but now the episode, and I'm going to try something now.
Yeah.
I would love to know what people decide to focus on.
Well, it's like be young.
Involve us.
Be young you too. It's like create an identity this year.
That was the most.
Go to Staples and buy some flowery folders.
That was the only thing that would get me somewhat okay with starting the next school year. Because, like, you started off with, like, this is going to be me. And it's like you're creating a different identity every single time. And everything is with that. I'm going to dress different. I'm going to have the school supplies that are, like, going along with this new identity. And I'm going to just.
Yeah. I wonder.
Like, I remember one year I was like, I'm not going to be shy anymore.
Such a kid thing to think.
Like, over the summer, I just, at one of my dance events, I just became not shy. And I was like, I'm going to ride this. Like, I'm going to go into this next school year, and I'm done doing that. And it stayed.
And it's it. That reminds me of the kid at the fireworks the other night.
It's also 10 minutes into the fireworks, and the kid's like, guys, look at the fireworks. Like,
Yeah. They've been going for
on.
a while. And he's like, guys, let's be fireworks. Let's be fireworks. And then we were leaving, and he's like, guys, I can see into the future. Watch. I'm going to fall. And he's running and then just like jumps and falls. Just keep saying, guys, I can see into the future. Look, I'm going to fall.
No, when that kid said, guys, let's be fireworks, it's like my whole being was just like, I love kids so much. I just love them. Like, it was just the most perfect example of like, oh, they're just so pure and fun, and like, let's be fireworks. I just went, yes. Oh, it's just so awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
So go
the
get
brain
some,
that they live in is just so magical, and I just
go get some new spiral notebooks, some cool folders, create
Yeah.
a theme.
Yeah.
New phone case, new laptop
Mhm.
case. Go get some, I don't know, new blankets.
switch your house up, change the furniture around, like just
Oh my
mix up
God.
as many things as you can. Just like we're gonna switch it up. And yeah, I would love to know. I love knowing that about people and like what are they working on or what's like the things that they're into. So if you want to be kind at all,
I'm gonna
let
switch
me
this
know
up.
what you're gonna work on with your summer challenge. And I think there's a little bit of an accountability thing with that. Like I commented it.
Well,
Someone
yeah,
gotta do
I
it
said
now.
it.
I said it out loud. You said you're gonna switch it up.
Yeah, I gotta change this up. I'm such my mom's kid. My mom would change the furniture around so frequently. It
I
seemed like
love that. I love doing
I like
that.
it too, but I think this needs a just mix it up.
Yeah.
Like move things around, change things around.
I don't know if there's like an actual energy to it, but I think there is. Like stuff just gets stale. Like there's an energy that just gets stale.
I
That I
there's-
think when you move stuff around, like the feng shui thing, like it's just you walk in and it's a little bit
you just
different of a
you're
vibe.
literally seeing something different.
Yes.
So it's a change in the mind. Like I mean, we go to the beach pretty much every day for a beach walk in the morning, and it's so funny. I would drive a certain way every day for how many months, and now I've started to change the route. Well, yesterday I just took the old route. It's like that's how second nature we get of just like
Yep.
seeing the same stuff. And I think that's where, like you said, the staleness or the stagnant and just like feeling like, oh, just like nothing's really moving and grooving. It's like sometimes it's just I mean, my sister and I would change our bedrooms. We'd be like, hey, you want to help me move my bedroom around, change my furniture, and I'll do it with your like. So we would just like help each other change each other's bedrooms, just moving the furniture and whatever. So we would do that 2 times a year probably.
I mean,
It's just like you get bored with it, and then it's like let's just move it around, change it up.
that's what you're supposed to do with kids, like their rooms and their toys. Is you're supposed to cycle them out and you're supposed to like move them around. And I mean, if you're gonna go extra with it, you're supposed to cycle them with what level of development that they're at, so that their toys are a perfect balance of challenging them and creating interest and intriguing them. But it's just so that they visually see different things, and that is what's growing their brain.
Gotcha.
So it's like it probably doesn't change. Maybe our brains are not growing, but it's sending that different stimulus. So like
Yeah.
kids seeing different things and different setups, their imagination, their ability to like process things of, well, I usually walk this way and I bump into the table and now there's no table there, so you have to like figure it out. And seeing different colors and different shapes in different places, you're having to constantly like adjust and piece things together and think.
Yeah.
That I bet it's the same thing for adults. We're seeing different things, so it's creating different thoughts and different ideas. And
Well, and kids think I think that's why Carly and I probably did it so much. Is like it's just fun to you.
yeah,
Just fun to do that. So it's like if you have kids, just have them help you change the living room layout.
Yeah.
You know, or just move a couple things around or change things or even with them, like it's the summertime, like paint their room. Have them help you paint their room.
yeah,
and maybe paint your room if you want it changed and mixed up. Paint the living room. It's like, or just do something different. I remember one year, Carly.
New identity. Everybody's getting a new identity this summer.
One year, Carly put like polka dots just on the top. It wasn't even like paint the whole wall. It was just like, we're just gonna do a little bit of a thing around the top of the wall. It's like, just
because why not?
Just why not? You can have the windows open. You're not trying to paint during the winter and it's paint fumes and everybody's getting weird. It's like windows open, fresh air.
I love that. Summer switch up.
Overalls on.
Summer switch up your life.
Well, it's like you can go do so much stuff for like, what is it, Michael's? The fabric or like the crafts place. It's like you could go there and just like get random crap to put in your house just to make it look a little bit different.
Yeah.
Or just like switch out your blankets. It's like everybody probably has 400 blankets. They have too many blankets than they need, or pillows. We have a gazillion pillows.
And we just move them around to just get out of the way.
Just change them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just change them. Go buy some pillowcases.
Well, it's like, think of how exciting it is when you get your Christmas decorations out.
Yeah.
Because to switch up visually, to switch up, like, you get to get different things out. Like, have the summer be that.
Yeah.
Have everything be a summer switch up.
Yeah. Change your life.
Change your life. Change your identity.
What are we doing next week?
Next week, we are talking about milk.
Dun, dun, dun.
Talking about the dangers of dairy. Dairy dangers.
Yeah, after talking about the pasteurized and homogenized thing, I thought it'd be cool to have more of a full episode about that. Just because I don't think everybody's... most people probably aren't looking into that, don't care much about it. That I think it'd be interesting to go deeper into what's going on with that and why I said what I said on the last one of like, yeah, I'm just not touching anything or not doing anything that's not raw.
Yeah, and I think something that could be a good addition in that episode is maybe getting into whether it's just like that type of farming and bringing awareness to food nowadays and why we're seeing some issues with it, and maybe like underlying causes that we're not aware of, that's actually the link to it, or like irritations and autoimmune issues, and the like what we said with the dairy stuff, like people that can't have dairy.
Yeah.
Picking up studies of when they do raw milk or raw dairy that they're fine. It's like, why is that? And other allergens and stuff. That could maybe just be a full food deep dive.
And we'll have a glass of raw milk on the pod.
Yeah.
Just to make Carly puke. All right. You good?
Yep. Like the comments below and comment what your summer switch is going to be.
All right. See you later.
Bye, everybody.